morning, everyone. Please be seated and let's listen to this week's announcements.
Good morning, Unity Renaissance. It's me, Russell Williams, here with your weekly announcements. Look at all those beautiful smiling faces. Are you looking in a mirror? Just kidding. Okay, today, last day only, we have the hand that paints the sky artwork around the sanctuary. I know you see it done by our own Carol Ann Steinberg. You need to come and purchase some today. This will be the last day we'll be hanging up on the walls. 30% goes to Unity Renaissance. Check it out. All right, and next Sunday, May 3rd, as we do every month, we need to join for the Vegan Fellowship Team Vegan Potluck in the great room right after service. Listen, here's the important part. You need to bring a dish. I mean, that's what potluck's all about, right? There's no dish, there's no fellowship. Bring a dish, eat, enjoy, have fun, and for those who didn't bring one, if there's some left over, you can have some too. And right after that vegan potluck, come back into the sanctuary and join us for a Rap with the Rev. We do this first Sunday of every month. So you need to inquire about unity, its principles, or even the Rev herself. Come and pick her brain, ask questions in a nice, intimate setting. Join us on May 17th for the Community Forum. It's your chance to come out, ask questions, be involved, see what's going on in your community. And in celebration of Mother's Day, for the entire month of May, we are collecting new and unopened diapers during the month of May. Did you guys hear that? New and unopened. I know last week I had to mention something about the dirty ones. I don't have to do that again this week, do I? Anyway, bring them in the narthex. We'll have a box out there or a bin to collect them all month of May, all sizes, diapers. We need them, and so do the kids. Fortunately, we've reached the end of the announcements for this week. But go ahead and grab your phone. There's a QR code right down at the bottom of the screen I want you to scan. I'll wait. Okay, great. Now that you got it, this QR code is going to allow you to register for the upcoming classes with Rev René. It's the 4 Axioms, the Way of Mastery, Transformational Spiritual Study Experience. Coming up May 14th and the 21st. They're both Thursdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's only $50. Register online using that QR code. It's a 2-part Zoom class, and it will also explain exactly what this class is all about. Again, use that QR code. Another thing, Unity, we would really appreciate if you use QR codes for everything. We're trying to get numbers for upcoming events and classes and things of that nature. We just want to be prepared. Also helps you to find out what's going on, and you can register easily and pay online as well. That's it for the announcements this week. Hope to see you at that class and for every other event that I've mentioned today. You guys have a great week. Love you.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Unity. If you are a choir member and would like to come up here and sing with us, please do. If you aren't and you just love the song, I'm going to extend the invitation to you too. We're opening this morning, y'all. service where we turn to our neighbors and we greet them with a friendly handshake, hug or bow. And we repeat to them the divinity salute. The divine in me greets the divine in you. And we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
Unity Renaissance. Good morning, Unity Renaissance Spiritual Life Center. Don't you like the whole thing? The whole enchilada? I do. I hope you do too, because that's our name. And I just want to say welcome, everyone. I'm so very happy to be back, gone for a couple weeks. And I want to acknowledge Tom Baker, who was our speaker for the last couple of weeks. I don't see him in the crowd today, but we're so very grateful for his presence. And I'm also wanting to just say how very grateful I am for the staff and for the volunteers that make things run so smoothly that I can totally unplug. I think that, so everybody who, please stand, our music team, our audio-visual team, Mary Molinari, Marcy Alsis, Reverend Ann was here for last week, which I was so thrilled to have she and Deb back from Florida. Welcome back, you guys, and how grateful we are for our spiritual community and all the people who are in sacred service and on staff that make it just so smooth and so much fun to be around. So with that, I just wanted to say, one of the things that we do during this time is we do a flashback. And I jokingly said in our, do we have any, flashbacks? And the answer was no. And so in this period, I always think, what are we grateful for? Let's begin with what we're grateful for and what the good news is. And if a couple people just kind of shout out something that you're grateful for, something that you're acknowledging in your life, I'll repeat it for the... Oh, that I'm back! Thank you so much. What else? Spiritual family, yes. The children, I heard the children. And recovery, yes, recovery. One more. And prosperity. And what was that, Lisa? A new refrigerator. Refrigeration, very important. And so with all of that, I am just so very grateful. It is so important to always be celebrating the good news and what we are grateful for. And I'm very grateful for this community. I'm grateful for Unity teaching. One of the things that what is Unity? Well, I can tell you what Unity is for me. Unity saved my life. Recovery did at one point, and then Unity expanded it in magnificent ways. And it all is based upon a teaching about as above, as the Creator above, perhaps, and all around, so within. And as within, so without. that we become, through our unity, through unifying in consciousness with God, with love, with the creator and source energy, we become the creators of our lives. We become the extensions of love in the world. And so for that, I am so very grateful because we have the tools that help us to recreate our lives according to this empowered and deliberate way to create our lives. And I can't think of a better, more important time to avail ourselves of these teachings, which are patterned after the true teachings of the one that we call Jesus, that we know is our way shower, that invited us to follow in his footsteps. Not just say, hey, we're going to wait for you to come back. No, we become the creators of our experience. And in so doing, we are a beneficent presence in the world. No better time than now. No better time than now. And so every Sunday we have 2 prayer chaplains that holds the prayer consciousness in space. This is an affirmative prayer process where we unify in God consciousness, and in that unification, we allow ourselves to be the channel for spirit. These prayer chaplains, I'm going to invite them to please stand, are available for prayer, one-on-one prayer after the service in the chapel across the hallway. And then if all prayer chaplains would please stand who are present here today as we anchor prayer, because in this community we all pray. And so with that, I just invite us to pause for a moment, a holy instant. And as we follow our breath and breathing, oh my goodness gracious, it activates our awareness. And as we activate this awareness, we release all tension, anchoring in the now moment. And bringing our attention and awareness to the consciousness of love, to God consciousness. I pause here for a moment to acclimate to this, that we've turned away from appearances and from conditions, and we've turned to cause. And as we turn to cause, we know that there's one power, one presence, one life, and that life is our life. That presence is here now. And it is in, through, and as each of us. And that the qualities of this consciousness is love intelligence, is a divine order, is a synchronicity of all things created in its image and likeness, such that there's a perfection, that there's a wholeness, and that there is a divine order. How grateful I am to remember that I am a part of that divine order, and so is each and every one of us. And as we turn within, we're claiming our divine identity. Oh yeah, we're claiming it right now. As Christ, we each abide in perfect safety. We have the ability to release tension. We have the ability to think independent of circumstance. We have the ability to channel love, God consciousness as our lives. And we have the ability, in fact, the calling to do so in our lives, to demonstrate this truth and to bless our brothers and sisters with love, with peace, with joy, with harmony. We bless our neighbors, we bless our communities, we bless our country, and we bless the world. And we blanket it with this love. We hold it dearly. We see beyond appearances, and we be a stand for this peace, this love, and joy. We take a breath here. I bless this time together. Something wonderful and magnificent is happening. I invite you to place the hand before the heart and declare and decree something wonderful is happening. Something wonderful is happening. I receive exactly what I need in this moment. Behold, I am made new. And it is so good and very good. And in this gratitude, in this claiming the truth that is already done, we celebrate this day. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, Infinite Spirit, that it is so. And together we say, and so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. Aho. Ashe. Let's celebrate. And so we can begin to allow the body eyes to open. As we do so, look around the room. See the face of love, the face of Christ that's shown up here to anchor this with you. And we wave to everyone who's joined us online. You are in our vibratory field. Can't get away. Right here. And guess what? We're creating this experience together. Yeah, we used to think it was the minister who did it all. No, 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 no. We create together this experience. And so I'm so excited to play with you this day. And so as we do this, I'm going to invite you to stand. We're going to mix up the energy a little bit. Stand. You can do a little jig as you do so. You can put your hands up if you wish. You can sway a little bit. We're going to anchor our vision and our mission together. This is why we're here, folks. And this is what called me here to this community. I love our vision and I love our mission. And so together, let us speak it as if we're saying it for the very first time. Our vision, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. Take a breath and go, Om. And our mission. We transform lives that transform the world. Breathe that in. And now together we speak our affirmations. These are the April affirmations that appear in our daily word. And so you can practice these throughout the week. I'll say the first word and then together we'll speak the affirmation. Inner peace. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Faith. With every step forward, I am faith-filled and faithful. Wholeness. Attuned to divine life, I heal and live fully. Strength. By the power of spiritual strength, I stand steady and ready. Harmony. Centered in divine love, I am harmonious presence. And now I invite Christopher Naughton up to the platform. Thank you, Christopher.
Today's reading is from The Way of the Heart. Following the thread of desire, Lesson 4, Jeshua ben Joseph. If the father, mother had not desired to extend love, you would never have come into existence. Your very sense of awareness of self is the result, the effect of love. The very same love that has birthed the sun and the moon and all of the stars in every dimension upon dimension upon dimension of creation. That very love that desired for that love to be extended is the very source from which we have all been birthed. As you know yourself to be, then you are the direct effect of God's desire to extend love. The only relationship which holds any value at all is your relationship with God, your creative source, the depth of the ocean. For when this relationship is in alignment, all of your creations, your choices for relationships and how you will be within them will flow effortlessly from that alignment. Therefore, seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Do not try to create a rose by starting with the petals, but nourish the roots, and the flower must blossom. If you are to be in right relationship with your Creator, it is absolutely necessary to correct the perceptions and relationship with the energy of desire. It begins by releasing your judgment of it in all forms. For again, you can only be love or fear. You can only be in innocence or judgment. Love and innocence are of the kingdom. Fear and judgment are of illusion. And from Psalm 37:4, delight yourself in the Lord, and God will give you the desires of your heart. Now please stand as we sing together the Lord's Song.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs, Lord, from day to day. Let your forgiveness light our way. Lead us away from temptation told. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Amen. 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 Think about it. There must be a higher love down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I've been thinking of? Worlds are turning and we're just hanging on, facing our fear and standing out there alone. A yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone who's feeling for me. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I've been thinking of? I will wait for it. I'll sing my song to share the night alone. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I've been thinking of? Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Where's that higher love I've been thinking of?
Beautiful. Woohoo, higher love. So, last week, Tom Baker gave a message that was entitled The Dilemma of Desire. It was a perfect message to tee up the conversation for today, which the title for today is From Dilemma to Delight. Being actually the channel for love, love's desire. And so that's what our conversation is about. And in the conversation last week, if we're not in a higher love, if we're not in a higher love, there is a dilemma in desire. And I didn't mean to go there already. Let me pause for a minute. Without a higher love, there is a dilemma. But the good news is that we don't start there. As I spoke of what unity is, that unity is the connection with Spirit, the connection with God, the connection with that higher love. And in the song, it talks about without it, we're just waiting for something better to happen. And without that higher love, we're devoid of what that could be. And without that higher love, we're also in this situation where we're misaligned, where the ego mind, the fearful mind, the mind that is separated from God consciousness, is in charge. And desire is something then to fear. We don't know where it's going to lead. We don't know if it's going to lead us in a million different directions, if it's going to lead us down dark corridors. We don't trust ourselves. We don't have self-awareness. But when we can begin to cultivate true desire, God's desire, love's desire for our lives, in our lives, then something shifts. Then something shifts from a fearlessness to a trust and faith. Not only in God, not only in love, but within ourselves. So this desire becomes an actual mechanism for us to become aware of ourselves. It talks about in the song that we walk blindly and we fall beyond what we could be. And one of my very favorite quotes in the Bible is Corinthians. And the first part of the quote says, "For now we see through a glass darkly." Have you ever felt like you've seen through a glass darkly, like you just don't know where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to be, what the truth is? Hello, the truth has been hijacked, the capital T truth, and a whole lot of misstatements of truth are circulating in the world through our conditioning, through what we call the news, that it is a wonder that we can even balance ourselves in this world with all of the influences that are going on. Do you know what it's like to try to navigate through a glass darkly? When I moved up here from Florida, I'm not a very mechanical person, but I felt very proud of myself because I put new windshield wipers on my car because the old ones were just well, but I didn't know you had to take that little plastic cover off. And so I'm like, these things don't work right. And they were like scratching my window. And so finally, my sister who drove up here with me is like, you got to take that plastic stuff off. And then here I am a year or two later, and I'm driving around, and those formerly new windshield wipers are flipping and flopping all over the place. And I'm thinking, those must have been faulty. Certainly they should last longer than a year or two, only to come find out, no, that's not the case. But to try to drive your car without a clean windshield is dangerous, is it not? And we don't do that. We don't recommend it, and we don't do it. And yet, that is what life is like when we're not in that higher love experience, when we're not connected with our source. That is what it's like. And it's like we are operating through a glass darkly. Now, I always think it's interesting, does art reflect life or life reflect art? How many think life reflects art? How many think art reflects life? Okay, interesting. Predominantly the second, that life reflects art, right? Did I get that right? The opposite. Art reflects life. So ever notice that there are a whole lot of zombie shows on TV? I'm not personally attracted to those at all, but they're out there. If you scroll around, there are a whole lot of Walking Dead people. And I would suggest that the Walking Dead are amongst us now, that we don't need to turn on the television or watch a show. I know I've been that before, where I've been walking through life, not really alive, not awake, not aware, with my windshield wipers flapping all over the place and not seeing clearly. In The Way of Mastery, Yeshua ben Joseph says this: try to look into the eyes of everyone. Sometimes it's hard to look into the eyes of other people. Here it's really easy, but out in the world, a lot of people are doing this. They're looking through a glass darkly. Whoop, they just might fall, right? And so the quote goes on to say, death seems to have already made a home in the minds of many that are living. Yeah, death of what? Death of dreams, of hope, death of worthiness, death of playfulness, death of true power, death of union with our source and with our Creator. I know when I said earlier that unity saved my life, this is what I'm talking about. It saved my life because I was amongst the walking dead, walking blindly, trying to navigate through a glass darkly, through the conditioned thoughts and patterns of the world. There's a story that I tell sometimes where there's a beggar, and the beggar is sitting on a box, like in a town square, and so many people pass by that beggar, and he's putting out his hand for alms, hoping that somebody is going to give him what he needs in order to survive in the world. And somebody walks by him and catches the eye of the individual and says, "What's in that box you're sitting on?" And the guy looks at him and goes, "I don't know. I never thought to look." "Well, why don't you look and see what's in there?" And so he peers into the box, and he's sitting on a box of gold. That's each of us. That's each of us when we're disconnected from our source, when we're walking not in a higher love. We're walking and seeing and perceiving through a glass darkly. We're looking outside of ourselves for our dreams. We're looking outside of ourselves for wholeness or health. We're looking outside of ourselves for playfulness, for happiness, for joy, for sustenance. And we forgot to look within ourselves because we came into this experience with everything within us. It is said that God hid the divine in the only place where it was thought we would find it, within ourselves. And we forgot to look within ourselves. And so we think that we must think our way out of things, that it is our thoughts that will save us. But unfortunately, our thoughts have been conditioned by the thoughts of the world. Thoughts like, I'm not enough. Thoughts like, I'm not worthy. Thoughts like, oh, well, in order to do what I really desire in my life, it's impossible. I'm too old. I don't have enough education. You know, there's a million thoughts. And unfortunately, thoughts are powerful. And we get to pick our thoughts. And when we pick our thoughts and we believe our thoughts, and we have a feeling tone behind them, they tend to create exactly what we're thinking. But it's a dangerous proposition if you've aligned with the wrong mind and if you are seeing through a glass darkly. Tune into the news. I'm not judging it. I'm saying tune in. I'm saying look at it. Not through a glass darkly, not through judgment, but through a curiosity of, wow, look at what we made. Because the consciousness that made that, there's a far greater consciousness that can unmake it and create something that could be our vision. That could be a spiritually awakened world living in love, peace, and joy. That could be transformed lives popping all over the place. Christ rising and resurrecting all over the place. Could be. When we begin, which is another quote I love, which by taking thought can we add 1 cubit to our lives, to our stature. So I know we're new thought, and gosh darn it, we love that intellect, and we love our thinking. It's just our thinking needs to be requalified by a higher love, by a love consciousness. That's all. And watch out when we do that. But we're not going to add anything or take anything away from who and what God made us to be. The reading, one of my very favorite readings, is just that a higher love birthed us. I know we want to think that we were birthed by human beings in this experience, and yeah, that's how we transported into this experience of from being spirit to having a human experience. But we predate that. The Christ of our being is eternal, and that's what God created. Chip off the old block. Definitely sun, S-O-N or S-U-N. Sunbeam to the sun, wave to the ocean, the vastness of the ocean itself, the depth, the breadth of the ocean, each of us a wave of the same substance of that which created us. The song says, look into your heart and I'll look into mine. This is the way of the heart. We stop the beggar consciousness of looking outside of ourselves. We even offer our thinking mind, the body, upon the altar of a higher love, that it may be transformed and transmuted into something new, a new way of being. So I look into my heart, you look into yours. And the way that we do this, the way that we cultivate love in our lives is to follow the thread of desire. Not fearfully, but with curiosity and childlike wonder. It says, not by controlling or suppressing it. We don't need to control our desires. We don't need to suppress them. That's when the dilemma comes into place. We can allow them to rise within us, notice them, experience it. You don't need to act on it. You can just be curious and go, oh, I wonder what this is about. I always joke because there was a time in my life when I couldn't just have one scoop of ice cream. I always wanted more. So I thought I had to have no ice cream at all. I suppressed my desire for ice cream. Well, guess what? I thought about it all the time then. I dream about it. I thought, oh my goodness gracious. Oh, look, there's some ice cream. As if the ice cream could have an adverse effect upon me. Right? I gave it it didn't have, never did have. And so what I learned is, but what do I really want? Do I really want ice cream? Or do I want comfort? What does it remind me of? It reminds me of having a scoop of ice cream with my dad. I miss my dad. What do I really want? I want the connection of someone I love. What do I really want? I want the connection with myself. But what do I really want? I want to know I'm okay in the world and I'm held and beheld by a loving power and presence. All that can come from wanting a scoop of ice cream? You betcha. When we remain curious and we keep following the thread of desire. So we cultivate this. Cultivate. What is cultivation? Cultivation, we prepare the soil to receive the seed, and we give it the proper circumstances that is required for that seed to grow. We're cultivating. We're listening deeply. What is the divine impulse, the divine urge within me that's seeking to express? And I can hold those seeds in my hand and not plant them. I can hold them, and I can become like a wise gardener and go, I think I don't want this one. I don't want that one. But these are the seeds I'm going to plant. You're always choosing. You are not a victim of what's passing through this being. We are always at choice. And so we follow the thread. What do you follow? We follow a pathway. This is just following a pathway. And the pathway that leads to love. If the wave is to the ocean, this material is suggesting that following that thread of the desire takes us from the tip of the wave. And as we follow it, it takes us all the way to the depth of the ocean, which is the creator, the source itself. We're not creating in isolation. In a higher love, we create and are propelled, empowered by something vast, greater, that which created us and extended itself as us. And so the thread, what's this idea of a thread, following the thread of desire? And what popped into my head at 3 o'clock in the morning today was I was imagining, I had this picture of my mother, and my mother didn't see very well, and so she wore these glasses that made her eyes look really big. It was really kind of funny. And I remember her trying to thread a needle. And she'd lick the thread to make it pointed, and that eye of the needle was tiny. And I would watch her, and I'd think she's never going to get that thread through that eye of the needle. And she had her big glasses on, and her eyes looked huge, and then she did it. Following the thread of the desire of your heart is like passing through the eye of the needle. Passing back through the eye of the needle that carries us to home, heaven consciousness, love, a higher love. And so that's what we're doing in this process here. We're following that thread of desire. Desire is the very first step in creating anything. I don't know about you, but when I go and ask for prayer and I sit across a prayer chaplain, I might tell them what my problem is, but at some point they're going to say, but what do you want? Because we can talk about what you don't want, but guess what? We're so powerful, we're going to keep getting that. We have to shift the focus to what we do want. And that's what following the thread of desire helps us to do. What do I want? What do you mean, what do I want for prayer? And they're going to guide you. We can pray for peace. We can pray for divine right refrigeration. We can pray for love, a higher love. And all prayer is refocusing our thoughts on that. That's what that is. And so move then from the dilemma of desire to the delight of desire. You guys, this is fun. You're in church and your minister's telling you to follow the thread of desire. What is desire? Desire is something that gives great pleasure and joy. It's fun. Passing through that eye of the needle is being a child like nature again, that innocence and the playfulness. We're spirit. And we decided to come into this experience to play in form. This is fun, y'all. All y'all. I mean, this is fun. So let's play with it instead of being afraid of it. And the way we do that is through that higher love. So another quote that I really like is that the waves delight. We're the wave to the ocean. And that the waves delight in expressing what seems to be unique individuality. And yet, it's all coming from the same source. So look around. We're each a wave in the ocean. And there is uniqueness. We each have a different desire that's pulsating, that's urging to come forth through us. We're not all here to be the same. That's something, when I was in that beggar consciousness, the reason I was always looking out is because I wanted to be like you, or I wanted to be like you, or I wanted to be like them. No. Or I want to be like Jesus, holier than thou? No. No. That's not who Jesus was. See, we misperceive what we think we see out there anyway. We're not seeing clearly then. We're seeing through that glass darkly. But look around. Everybody has a different desire. And that shard of desire, when followed and activated, gives a gift that is unique. That when it comes together, it creates the whole. When it comes together, it creates a new earth. When it comes together, all of our gifts, something magnificent happens. You see, I look over at Brittany and I think, gosh, I always wanted to be a singer. My very best friend in this whole room, while I'm doing the service, is the sound person. Because if they don't mute me, y'all are going to hear how I sing, and it isn't very pretty. That's not my gift. It's okay. She's got that gift. They've got that gift. You guys have that gift. Many of you have that gift. Not mine. That's okay. In another life, I was a singing preacher. I know it. Doesn't matter whether you all knew it. I know I was a singing preacher. And I just had to come back and preach a little more. I don't know. But my point is that we each have a different way of expressing, and that when we come from that higher love, we complete the Corinthians quote. I was seeing through a glass darkly, but now I see face to face. And so following this thread of desire activates our awareness. It brings us present, just like when we take a breath together. It brings us present. It becomes a pathway for us to discover ourselves. What makes me tick? What brings me joy? As Tom Baker said last week, It is God's desire for you to be happy. It is God's will that you be happy. We are not ordained to be and do the things that do not bring us joy. Yeah, that would be a drag. And it's not so. We follow that thread and we come alive into the awareness of who we are. The revealing word talks about desire, that a deep desire is actually essential for our spiritual growth, for our spiritual evolution. We must make peace with it and cease judging it and embrace it and play with it. And so it is a deep desire. It's an expression of the inmost being of ourself. It's the onward impulse of an ever-evolving being, and it springs from deep within our being and has an enduring power. It goes on to say that earnest, intense desire draws our whole being up and out of mortality into its transient joy. So in mortality, in a form-bounded experience, there are ups and downs, transient experiences. And following this thread of desire, the deepest desire of our heart brings us into the power to appreciate and actually receive real spiritual blessings. So it is the first step in being a deliberate, conscious creator in our lives. What do we want? What do we want? Delight ourselves in the Lord meaning the I am of our being. Delight ourselves in the Christ of our being. And God gives what is already given, which is the desires of the heart, which is what we were created with. We are the effect of God's desire to create you. To look within, to release that beggar consciousness and look within to the delight that is within us. So it increases our awareness. It assists us in trusting ourselves. We begin to realize that we don't need to go down dark corridors, that we can pick the seeds that delight us and benefit ourselves in the world. So for me, when I was sitting on the box in my beggar consciousness a long time ago and yesterday for a while, right? It's a process. We all go there, thinking my good is somewhere out there. And I remember when I came into a Unity church, and I remember, boy, I was just tickled. I wanted to do everything. And so I started volunteering. I remember the first place was the bookstore. The bookstore was wonderful, but then I thought, I'm going to do youth and family ministry. And so I served in youth and family ministry for a while. And then I kept following my desire until a true desire dropped in, and it was prayer. And I became a prayer chaplain. And then that led to another experience of being a religious science spiritual practitioner. I went down that path. That was a couple years. And then I had the desire, well, I want to do what that guy up there's doing, which is what I'm doing now. So then I become a minister. And it doesn't end there. What I have come to learn is that as I follow that thread of desire, it leads me in my life, and I bet you can look back on your life, on how one thing led to another. And it unfolded perfectly, so that you could look back on your life and go, gee, how did this happen? Oh yeah, I had a desire, an urge, a draw towards something. So the exercise for this week is to begin and continue to cultivate what urge, what heart desire, what true desire is calling you. and just to learn to become aware of it. And when you become aware of it, just to question it. And then as you question it, we go deeper and deeper. For me, when I say it didn't end here, I have come to realize the truth that was spoken in our reading is that the only thing of importance in my life, the only thing of value is my relationship with God, the source of my being, the creative energy. And when I'm in alignment there, in a higher love, all things unfold perfectly and proceed from glory to glory. Sometimes they falter in between, just like all of us. But something wonderful, magnificent continues to unfold, and there is no end. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me. We're going to mix the energy up just a sec. I'm going to invite you to stand. How do we get to the higher love? Stand and breathe here. Last time I saw most of you, we did Easter, and we did an anointing. And an anointing is a recognition of Christ. And if you feel comfortable, that we can begin when somebody says, "Who are you?" that we can begin to answer, or at least think in our mind in a different way. So if you're comfortable, I'm just going to ask you, as I ask you, "Who are you?" I'm going to ask you to begin to repeat the following. Who am I? Say, who am I?
Who am I?
I am an extension of love and form.
I am an extension of love and form.
I have never been born.
I have never been born.
I will never taste death.
I will never taste death.
I am infinite and eternal.
I am infinite and eternal.
I shine as the sunbeam to the sun.
I shine forth as the sunbeam to the sun.
I am the effect of God's love.
I am the effect of God's love.
And I stand before you
And I stand before you
to love you.
to love you.
Take a breath. Feel that. And turn to a neighbor. Literally turn to a neighbor. And you can be in a group. Feel one another's presence. And I am going to say this again, and I invite you to repeat after me. If you are comfortable, we have someone here. Say, who am I? I am the extension of love and form. I have never been born. And I will never taste death. I am infinite and eternal. I shine forth as a sunbeam to the sun. I am the effect of God's love. Take a breath here. And I stand before you to love you. And so it is. So give a hug, a wink, a nod, and find your seat. And we will meditate for a moment. And as we meditate, we'll just for a moment, we're going to pause and turn. We're going to feel what we feel right now. Feel the afterglow or after fear of having done that. Acknowledge yourself for the courage it took. How did it feel? And in this moment, we turn within to the higher love. To each of us being a wave to that ocean. I'm going to speak in the first person, allow the come become your own if comfortable. I am an extension of God's love. I'm a divine idea in the mind of God. I am loved, loving, lovable now and forevermore. I am here to love the world.
Bring me a higher love.
What would I love?
Bring me a higher love. Oh.
What do I want? And I listen.
I will wait for it.
I connect. I ask. I listen to receive. I trust and know that as I ask, it is given and I receive. And so I pay attention during the week, and I practice this throughout the week of pausing, noticing, and asking, what would I love? What do I want right now? And I simply wait and follow that thread with curiosity, innocence, and wonder. I claim for this community a divine spiritual awakening is happening. I call forth a higher love. I call forth a divine self-expression in, through, and as each of us, unfolding in magnificent ways. I invite and invoke a self-trust and a self-love. And I welcome us all home to this heaven consciousness now. We are blessed and a blessing as we go forth from here. And so it is. Amen. And now as we begin to just be present, consider that the life that you are living has yet to be written as we allow this next song to come forth.
Before we sing the next song, I would like to ask each of you, if you can, to please stand and give Reverend René a hand of applause for the beautiful message today.
Thank you.
And also welcome her back. Like, we missed you.
Thank you.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind. I'm undefined,
So you got some writing to do, my friends. So this is our time of giving our gifts, our generosity, our financial offering, which goes forth and supports this community in all that we do. But as with everything, it is how we give that is the most important thing. And so as the basket is passed, please give it a blessing, infuse it with love, and see it abundant and prosperous. As each gift is multiplied and goes forth and blesses this community in magnificent ways, we're so very grateful for your gifts and for the gift. And so there are many ways to give. You can download the Tidely app. You can text to give, and the number is above. And I'm looking for the QR code. Russell said that I think there's a QR code somewhere, and so we'll get that next time. So as we conclude, we just rub our hands together, giving that energy and love, blessing this gift. So together we say, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. Thank you. And so now I invite Christopher Naughton back up to the platform. A couple of weeks ago, I'm going to have you stand over here. A couple of weeks ago, we had our new board installation after our retreat, and we were so sorry that you weren't able to make it, but that we wanted to actually have a moment to acknowledge you. And so as you can see, there is a picture of Christopher. He's here in the flesh. And it's with heartfelt gratitude that we just thank you for your board service. He completed 2 3-year terms, 6 years on the board, and several of those years as our board president, which I think were 4, 2 and 2. Is that correct? Something like that? You've lost count. And so we're so very grateful. And I just wanted to thank you on behalf of the community and the board. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything. Or,
I just love you all. That's
yeah. And so I just would like, so if you'll stand in the center, because Donna is going to lead us in a blessing. No. So we extend our hands in your direction, and we just say, I forgot what the blessing. Well, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you, and we thank the Christ in you. Thank you. And then I just also wanted to have still standing any present or past board members. And just acknowledge everyone for their magnificent service to this community. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now you can go back. Back to work.
Ready for that. It was like, now I can actually take it in. There you go. Well, this is a time in our service where we love to welcome newcomers, and we were all newcomers at one time or another, right? We all were asked to stand or be acknowledged for being a newcomer, because so many of us have been here for so many years, but we can probably remember when we were asked to acknowledge. So if you are so brave, because it's really not that brave here at Renaissance, but if you're visiting Unity Renaissance for the first, second, or the third time, please raise your hand with a 1, 2, or a 3. Do we have any? There we go. Thank you. It is a kind and gentle group here. They're not going to put spotlights on you or anything like that, but we want to acknowledge you. And so our ushers will bring a card for you to fill out and a gift bag as well. And after the service, you may wish to meet a member of the Connection crew in the bookstore. That's where you'll be able to so-called cash in and receive your gift. So thank you so much for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you again and again. So now it is that time to bring in the children.
We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God.
Well, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if it's the rain, but if you children are online, come back next Sunday, okay? I want to see the stage completely full. But today I want to just give thanks for these beautiful children that we have who came to church today. So happy to have you all here at Unity. Yay, yay, yay. And I believe we have a word from our amazing Lucy.
First, for our fundraiser last week, we raised over $400, so thank you for that. Second of all, we only had 3 people in our class, so we did part of our lesson, and we learned how thoughts can impact really everything. So if we think about, like, I used the example how I didn't get as high as a score as I wanted to on my SOL. So at first I thought, oh, I did really bad, and I thought I was really I thought I was kind of dumb at first, but then I realized I'm not, and I worked as hard as I could to make it higher. But then if I kept going throughout this whole year saying, oh, I'm bad at math, oh, I'm dumb, that I wouldn't have gotten like as high as I can. But then you work hard at like the thoughts you can use, and you like basically your thoughts impact really anything you can if you use them. So
Thank you so much. Special thank you to Ed in the YOU for always showing up and doing all the amazing things that he does in the YFM. I can't do it without Ed in the YFM. To Miss Rosie, as you know, who shows up all the time in a pinch, everywhere with everything YFM. Miss Val, who does all the wonderful things with our Uniteens. Thank God for Miss Val so much. Did I miss any adults on this side? I didn't, but can I just say that Miss Tammy and Miss Linda came in today for TOTS and for the nursery, so I want to give special thanks to them too. They came, they gave opinions, we shared, we talked about what's good for our children going forward, and I really, really appreciate it. Volunteers always available in the YFM, guys. Okay, yes. Did you want to share anything, Rev?
I was also going to add in that Valerie has also served on the board, and for 6+ years, I think at various times. Seven. So she's been multitasking.
For sure.
Thank you.
With that, please stand for the prayer of protection and the peace song.
All right, everyone, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us.